Eric Mwathe, Mwathe.com, with the US market analysis for the weekend of September 3rd and September 4th, 2016. Let's take a look at markets here with about half an hour to go before the close of Friday. And markets are called higher. Let's call it about 0.4% on average for the major averages. Let's take a look at those charts. We begin with the Nasdaq weekly chart, and we can see for now the Nasdaq continues to hold above the previous weekly closing high. In other words, the breakout that we saw recently continues to be intact. The market hasn't closed below that level of 5214 on a weekly basis since the breakout. So the market net, one can assume that this market continues to be very healthy, very strong. If you take a look at the Nasdaq from a monthly chart, we can see that month to month, the monthly breakout continues to be still very successful. The market is still holding above that level. And so we can see month to month, this is a strong market. So above that previous monthly closing high of 2015. And of course, the level we've been watching here for the Nasdaq is 5128.28. As long as the market is holding above this level for the Nasdaq, this continues to be a very healthy bullish market. Of course, the last thing we want to do is turn negative for the month. So as long as the market is positive for the month, you have to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt. Otherwise, if and when the market turns red for the month, the charts might not be as encouraging. One of the reasons being that if we turn red here and show this as resistance on the RSI, that would be suggesting that we've seen an improvement in month-to-month price highs, so the month would be making new highs, while the RSI would show negative divergence, and that's not what you want to see. So as long as markets are positive for the month, bulls have to be encouraged. And if we take a look at the Dow on its weekly chart, we can see that there's now this potential to break out above the recent 2016 weekly closing high. So for the Dow, the level to watch here is for any breakout that takes the Dow above 18,576.47. So any movement above that would be a fresh breakout above this 2016 all-time weekly closing high. So bulls would like to see the market move above that, while bears would like the market to fail to break out. A breakout would be very, very good in suggesting that the market wants to probe higher levels. If we take a look at the daily for the Dow, we can see that it is actually setting up very well right now. Bouncing nicely on the 50-day moving average, and also coming and showing support on this level here. This line here has held. Not only has it held, we see that it has done that with double bottom support here and then here, and also the market moving back above RSI 50, suggesting of a market that wants to test recent highs. So right there is an indication that the market might want to test these recent highs, or maybe even punch through those highs. But before the market can do so, it has some challenges. Take a look at the hourly for the Dow. We can see that the market has come back to test the recent highs on the hourly. If you take the line connecting recent RSI highs, we hit this level here at the highs of Friday's session, and we are pulling back. So if the market is to see higher prices, it needs to take out this resistance on the hourly chart, and this resistance is also can be seen on the 30-minute chart for the Dow. If you take these highs here, again, you can see that the market has hit this level early on Friday, and from then on there was a pullback. So that's a challenge. Short term, the market is stalling based on this 30-minute chart and the previous hourly chart. Failure to move above this line here might indicate that the next swing trade is lower. Now if you take a look at the Dow monthly, we'll see that after slight down month in the month of August, now the market is giving the market the Dow another chance of breaking out on its monthly chart. So we can say this net on a month-to-month basis, as long as the Dow is holding above 18,432 0.27, we can see that this is a fresh monthly breakout. So anything above this price range is bullish. For the S&P 500, that level, as we can see here, we have now, after closing slightly lower last month, now we have a chance of moving above the previous monthly closing high, the previous all-time monthly closing high. And here we can see that as long as the S&P 500 is above 2184.05, this is a strong market. So anything above this price range would suggest that this is still a very strong market. Otherwise, failure to hold above this price range and moving below that might actually be a sell signal. So right now looks good. Market is trading above that previous 2016 and previous all-time monthly closing high. We have to assume that as long as markets are breaking out, the bulls are still have a chance of moving this market higher and are in control of the market. In fact, scratch that. I just realized I gave you the wrong number here. So for the S&P 500, let me correct myself here. The previous all-time monthly closing high is actually 2173.60. So that's the previous monthly closing high. The market holding above that is bullish. Failure to hold above that level might be bearish. And if you go to the weekly, this is where we get the previous number I'd given you. S&P 500 on a weekly basis has a chance of breaking out after a few weeks of rest above the recent all-time weekly closing high. And this is the level that I previously mentioned, 2184.05. Anything above that would be bullish. Failure to break out might start asking questions on the market. And here we can see that on the hourly, just like the Dow, on a short-term basis, this market has a challenge, and the challenge is to break out above this line here, which has been resistance. As you can see, was resistance here for the highs right there, was resistance here for the highs there, and now resistance here as of early Friday. So if bulls want to move this market higher, the first order of business is to take out this line. Otherwise, failure to do so, eventually we get some type of a pullback because of this confirmed resistance. That's how markets are setting up. Net market looks healthy. No major sell signals. If the market is breaking out on the weekly and on the monthly, you have to assume that this market wants to go higher. Eric Muadit, Muadit.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. ECS. For subscribers, wait for part 2, which should be in your inbox sometime on Sunday. I am out.